Hi, my name is Sophia Schmerling, and this is my video response for the Throne of Blood movie for Theater 251, Section 1. So I'm not really sure how I feel about the film. It was pretty confusing for me to keep up with the storyline because obviously it was in Japanese, and even with subtitles, it was a bit difficult for me to understand which character was which, and I wasn't really able to focus on the undertones or any subtleties that the film had because I was too focused on trying to figure out which character said what and who they were talking about. I'm not too familiar with the plotline of Macbeth either, but I know the overall storyline, so that helped a little bit. However, I found it interesting to see how early Japan is perceived through the media and film. And I think that the film was made pretty well for the year it came out in. It just wasn't really my cup of tea or what I'd usually watch. To start off with the connections to the no drama, the whole movie I think it was modeled around the Shuramono type of no drama because the movie was based on warriors and different lords trying to gain status over each other. And the first scene that really got my attention and that resembled the no drama was in the forest when the two commanders first encountered the spirit who was sitting in a wooden structure using the spinning wheel. And then she told the commanders about a prophecy. This scene was probably influenced by the Curie style of no drama because of the spirit and its supernatural figure, and that was a recurring theme throughout the movie also. The second influence I noticed was near the middle of the movie when the two men walked behind each other on the wooden walkway when they were trying to go into the room where the old lord had died, and they were looking at his blood. The structure of the buildings in the movie resembled the stage where the no dramas take place, with the long wooden walkways and the thin beams railing the walkways. The third influence I saw was when the main lord was in his room with his wife, and she was on her knees trying to explain to him what he had to do to be the Grand Lord. And that scene sort of reminded me of the Eugen virtue that No tries to achieve. And I do think that Kurosawa was right when he chose to use the No style to influence his storytelling. I think that maybe he could have incorporated the masks and the facial expressions of the kabuki style theater to make the dramatic scenes even more dramatic and drawn out. However, I think that the best option for retelling Macbeth with the Japanese theater style for influence was the No style, because the main objective of the No style is to transcend the audience into a state of harmony, which I think goes hand in hand with the moods and tones of Macbeth. I also think that the two virtues used in No dramas helped intensify the story of Macbeth, because the story of Macbeth is already a pretty mystical story where people are out for their own good, but the No influences were able to help express the meaning in a way that was also able to be understood within and through the Japanese culture, with the spirit and the hallucinations during the Lord's dinner party, and near the end when the troops were disguised as trees. Overall, I think that this style of theater was a good choice on behalf of Kurosawa. That's all. Thank you.